Everyone's asking if AI can do your job. That's the wrong question. Watch. I've watched software rollouts for 20 years, expensive ones, and almost none of them fail because the software is bad. They failed for reasons no one puts in the sales demo. I'm now watching AI repeat that pattern point by point. 5 places it breaks, and I've hit every one of them on this channel on camera, doing real work. None of this is theory. 5 failures in order, getting more expensive as we go. The last one, there is no model in the world, not even Fable 5, that can fix it. Let's get into it. Now, every sales demo ever runs on perfect input, perfect data, a perfect prompt, a perfect sandbox. None of it's actually real, which is why they always look so good and so polished. But once you start to throw in real world scenarios and real world problems, that's often where you start to see these things start to break down slightly.
Let's move on to the next. Again, super quick it's done that. Let's have a look. It's done all the job titles correctly for me. Perfect, nice. It's told me it's format of the day, right? But if I have a look at C20, it says missed 1. It's done it super fast, but it's missed 2. So whilst it has speed, accuracy not so good here. So there you go. So in about 2 seconds, it has found those couple of errors and it has reformatted them all. And it's just tidied that up nicely for me as well. So speed, yes. Accuracy, not so good with ChatGPT 5.5 on this particular one.
Now, that may look pretty simple and minor, and on the face of it, it was. But the bigger picture, if you're not checking your work, things like that are going to slip through and bite you. Right, let's move on to number 2. That was the cheap version of hallucination causing a failure. It gets worse. Let's go. Even the most advanced AI models today, GPT 5.5, Fable, for those glorious 72 hours had access to it, Opus, none of them, generally speaking, unless you've got specific instructions, will ever tell you that they're wrong or they don't know. It just asserts a position. Now, that is an expensive error. The expensive error is the boring one that everyone overlooks.
The shadow of Shadow IT in the background, I like that a lot. And 3 big stats down the side. Now, 3 stats and 3 sources, I went and checked them all. The 75% figure is real. It's from Microsoft's Work Trend Index, not Deloitte. So the stat is right, the source is wrong. 78%, that figure exists. It's from a Walk Me survey from SAP. Again, the stat is right, the source is wrong. The 57% figure at the bottom, I cannot find this anywhere in the 122 sources that the model actually retrieved. It's not in the IBM report, it's not in the SAP one, it's not in any of them. But it's presented obviously with utter confidence. So hallucinations are still a massive problem, and we see them getting better with the text output it produces, but it's clearly still a problem between the text it's researching and turning that into an infographic.
Now, scale that to a decision that somebody's actually accountable for, and you submit, put out a piece of work, a document, a contract, something to a client, something to your boss, and they spot the glaring error in it. You can't blame the tool. It's still on you. Which leads us nicely on to the next point. Now, if you are finding this video useful in any which way, shape or form, please pop down there, hit that like and that subscribe button. It really helps support the channel, and you won't miss out on any future videos full of hints and tips to help you get the best from AI at home and at work. Thanks for that. Let's get back to it. Now, again, Copilot has made certain tasks at work an almighty amount easier and saves a bunch of time. It can write executive project summary reports for you, program updates. It can even fill out the PowerPoint template for you, but it can't stand behind them. It's not accountable. It is still your name on that deck, on that report, and you are still accountable for that. The thumbnail with the made up stats, I probably would have posted that if I hadn't checked it. But that's why this matters. It's hallucination, not deception. So, if you're using 5.5 for serious work, you can't trust it less, but you do have to check it differently. Not is the answer right, but is every component of the answer right? If you're doing multi-step workloads, you have to check it from start to finish. One incorrect piece at the start could ruin an entire loop. The agentic loop works, but that's also the problem. And even when it does get the work right, there is still another wall coming that people don't see. Now at work, Copilot can be brilliant. It has access to all of your data and stuff that you need. However, that is also sometimes its downfall. As soon as you want to try and do anything slightly out of that, if you want to try and connect it to Salesforce, for example, ADO, to Jira, anything like that, you need external connectors, and that in a corporate IT world is where you hit the barriers and hit the wall. It can search across your company's actual data, your emails, your Teams conversations, your SharePoint files, your meetings. That access to your organization's information is the real advantage. Not magic, not intelligence, just context that your other tools don't have. So here's the honest summary. Copilot at work is most useful for reducing your admin load, pulling information together, summarizing what exists, pulling together meeting notes, getting you up to speed and on board faster. It is not a replacement for your expertise or your judgment. It doesn't know your stakeholders. It doesn't understand the politics. It doesn't know which project lead actually delivered and which one is just chronically optimistic. Think of it like a fast corporate intern, genuinely useful for finding out and organising information, dangerous the moment you stop actually thinking. Use it for the admin, always make the decisions yourself. So corporate IT giveth and corporate IT taketh away. Awesome, because it's got access to all of your data and can pull together all of your stats and info perfectly. Falls down the moment you need it. You need Copilot at work to do something outside of its sandbox. And of course, once you've got past all of that, some of the biggest challenges is still the waiting for stuff to get done, but that's when you go and get your coffee. Now, this last one we're going to get on to next, no LLM in the world will ever solve this problem, not even Fable 5 if we ever get that back. Let's see what it is.
Once all the information's in there and you keep it updated with your newsletters and stuff as they come in, you can just open your phone, you can question it, you can type in questions. There's a voice mode on there as well, you can talk to it. Incredibly simple, incredibly easy, keeps things nice and organized.
So the final fall down and flaw in all of these situations is nothing to do with the technology. It's nothing to do with the AI model you're using, anything like that. It's the human in the loop. Ultimately, a lot of these systems do and should involve some form of human input. Now, if that human makes mistakes on the road or just doesn't do what's required, the whole process falls down. The capability here was never the bottleneck. Changing how people work is. And change is hard and change can be scary. I've seen great systems and great tools rolled out in the past that have died before they've ever got anywhere because the adoption was just next to zero. Getting the rollout plan right is one of the most important aspects in any kind of rollout and integration. And that goes for work and home. Now, I'll be honest here with this example I've just shown you, the family organizer, I've fallen down. I've not updated that since I recorded this video, and therefore it is now completely useless. The human in the loop part of the whole thing has failed. So the human in the loop inherently is both the best part of the process, the most valuable part of the process, and also one of the biggest weak spots as well. But that's okay. You build processes around it to help where you can. So to wrap up then today, everything I've gone through this video today is where AI tools have failed and can go wrong. Now, I'm not saying they are all useless. They're not. They genuinely save me hours every week. The problem is the hype train is so real in pushing all the amazing things you can magically do with these models that you very rarely see when they actually fail, when they break, and when they don't do the things they're supposed to do. They're normally hidden and shoved out the way because it's not a good look. But it's important that you all understand where those things are so you don't fall victim to some of those flaws. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. Hit that subscribe button so you do not miss next week's video. Stay peachy.